Alright guys, I'm going to show you how I'm going to go replace this outside outlet. This is a GFCI. The nails are cut there. It's not even attached. This one, the nails got cut already. You see the rust, so you can tell it's been there for a while. You wouldn't believe how they attach this, which is a big no-no. As you can see, we're replacing all the sidings, and I want to replace this since I have access already to this. First thing you want to do is you want to shut off the power from the main circuit breaker. Get yourself a voltage tester. Make sure there's no power. So we identified that this has no power going into it. I'm going to take out the outlet. Make sure you save these. Take this out. This one's back wired up. There are some mistakes here that's been done. Some exposed wiring right there. Look at the hot. There's some excess wire. You don't want excess as much as possible. You want the electrical sheathing to be all the way through. There's a big no-no. They screwed this electrical box straight to the stud. Never should do this, because this terminal, especially this hot side, makes contact with those screws. You're gonna get some sparks and a fire could possibly happen. So this is a big no-no. If just replace it with a brand new one, which is what we're gonna be doing today. We're gonna extend it out even outer so that it comes flush with our siding, because we're putting the new zip system and we're putting cladding. So we gotta make sure we account to that and make sure we push the box out enough to make it flush with the siding and the sheathing. I'm gonna use my insulated screwdriver by Klein. This is awesome because you can flip this. Again, if you're interested on any tools that I use on this video, I'll leave the link right down below, or check out the QR code right here if you're watching on the big screen. I'm gonna reuse this because GFCIs are pretty expensive. This is still a usable GFCI. So at first I thought that was a burn mark, piece of tar that got stuck in there. If that was a burn mark, I'd definitely replace this, but this is still good. So your typical height for outdoor receptacles would be around 12 to 18. This is around on the 15 from the bottom of the box. So I could move it around higher if I wanted to, which I will do. Again, make sure you check your local codes to see which one is right for you. This is a new work box. We're gonna replace it with a brand new one. You can see that this one has seen a lot of damage. Here's some of the remnants from that broken box piece. So I want to relocate this 18-inch higher, so that's 5 inches higher than what it was before. Sure, it's nice and squared. There we go. So you definitely want to strip out new wiring. So I'm just going to cut off the old stuff. Showing you an example here. I have the zip system, so take account for your siding as well. So we want this electrical box to sit nice and flush when it's all said and done. Or something flat, that's how far it's gonna sit right there. Now before I install this box, I'm gonna do a punch out right here at the top. I'm gonna feed the wire in through already. Push it out like that. There you go. Like so. Now I'm going to position the bottom of my box with that mark that I made. Here's a suggestion: if you're picking out an outlet, a GFCI outlet outside for your home, I would recommend a WR, weather resistant, and a tamper resistant. So you're going to install a cover on this anyways, but just to make sure, I'd pick this type. If you're interested on a Leviton, like similar one like this, I'll leave the link on the description down below as well. Again, the black terminal would be for the hot. So we'll take this. It doesn't matter bottom or top, either way. You want to make sure that the wire goes all the way through and no wire is showing past right there. There you go. That's nice and secured. No copper exposed. With the neutral, I'll feed it over here. Also, I'd like to add, if you look at the back, it says line. Line means that's where the main power is going to. If you were gonna attach more outlets on this circuit, like towards down the circuit, you want to add more outlets to be protected with this GFCI, then you would take the sticker out and put the load. You put all that connection to this one. But since this is gonna be a separate and it's own outlet, I'm not gonna attach it anything yet for now. I'm just gonna use the line. If you're ever curious how much you should strip off your wire, there's a strip gauge right here. If you compare it to there, like that, that's how much you should be stripping for this to be enough to here without having overexposure wire. On the side it says blank or white wire, and this one hot wire, which is this, so we know it's correct. Now we're gonna attach this final one to the bottom, which is the ground wire. You're wondering how much of the cable sheathing should go past the inside of this box. 1/4 inch of that cable sheathing should extend in past this box inside, okay? Finish it off with my manual screwdriver here. And there you have it, friends. That's how you can easily replace your old broken electrical box with the new one. Really nothing to it. So hopefully you found this video super helpful. That was easy to do. Again, if you're uncomfortable in doing any type of electrical work, make sure you contact or have a professional or a licensed electrician do this for you if you are uncomfortable. Again, turn off the power from your main circuit breaker whenever you're working with any type of electrical. If you like content like this, I have a bunch of electrical videos playlists. Go check them out. Again, friends, if you found this video super helpful, hit that big thumbs up, subscribe, notification bell, and I'll see you, friends, on the next video.